2018 Dacia Sandero Stepway Review. The good points of Dacia Sandero Stepway: spacious interior, large, flexible boot, fashionable crossover looks, inexpensive to have. The bad points of Dacia Sandero Stepway: little benefit on the regular Sandero. Dearer models offer less good value. Safety tools are off the pace. Not really an off-roader. Small hatchback running costs married to SUV looks seems like a streetwise car choice, but would it make sense such as the Dacia Sandero Stepway? Based about the more conventional Sandero hatchback range, Dacia builds the Stepway because most affordable crossover on discount sales. That's maybe stretching the loose concise explanation. What a crossover is all around snapping point, also it's a place segment few manufacturers utilize anyway. Its chief alternatives add some Ford Fiesta Active, as well because the smaller Kia Picanto X-Line and Vauxhall Viva rocks. Those affordable costs are designed to tempt motorists away from used cars and in a brand new model, perhaps to the very first time. Families on tighter budgets will appreciate the practicality, decent fuel economy and rugged appearance, but it really inevitably loses many of its great value in the Stepway metamorphosis. Limited array of engines. If you sign up to the notion that an excessive mount choice is really a bad thing, then you'll likely appreciate that this Sandero Stepway features a choice of just 2 engines, as both versions produce 90 horsepower. Naturally, they are shared with the normal Sandero hatch, using a straight choice between petrol and diesel. Suiting most buyers' demands could be the turbocharged 90 petrol, a mixture that should easily achieve 45 miles per gallon inside the real world. Petrol engines are much to shorter, urban-centric journeys, which explains why we'd only take into account the Dacia 90 diesel in the event you regularly drive long distances and cover a superior annual mileage. Whichever you select, it can send its chance to the front wheels. The Sandero Stepway isn't budget 4x4. 2 quantities of Sandero Stepway equipment. 2 trims are available around the Sandero Stepway, with just 1 equipment on their namesakes inside the regular Sandero lineup. The entry-level ambience specification is sold with electric front windows, front fog lights, and roof bars, Bluetooth connectivity, metallic paint, and also a multimedia system. Choose the top of the range laureate trim and also you get everything for the ambience version plus aircon, a chrome finish to top grille, all-round electric windows, electrically adjustable door mirrors, cruise control, rear parking sensors and sat-nav. Practicality matters. Building around the regular Sandero's impressive practicality, the leading change the Stepway advantages of is a 40mm elevation in ride height. That's not much of a huge increase, granted, however it makes it the mini easier to the Stepway to tackle slightly rougher terrain. Perhaps of greater benefit will be the ease of access afforded from the higher seating position, making it better to load kids into child seats, in addition to aiding the ingress and egress of such less physically mobile. Latest deals from Bild are: Dacia Sandero Stepway Laureate D, £7,750, or £138 each month. Dacia Sandero Stepway Ambience D, £6,000, or £110 every month. See all deals on Dacia Sandero Stepway. Representative example: representative APR of 7.9% borrowing £10,509 over 48 months on HP-type finance. Just how much payable could be £250 on a monthly basis, which has a total cost of credit of £1,483 along with a total amount payable of £11,992. Dennis Buy Car Limited, 3132 Alfred Place, London, WC1E7DP, GB 09151058, is usually a credit broker regulated by FCA, FRN 667368. The verdict. such as Dacia Sandero hatchback, also in its less costly forms. Therefore, the Stepway version has got to work hard to justify its higher prices. Yes, it's definitely quicker to get people in addition to their belongings in and outside of, and its styling is on song with current trends for lapping up anything SUV alike, but that's about this. There's little extra of value for that considerable expense. But, when you feel the Dacia Sandero Stepway may be the small car available for you, then again pick Ambience Trim plus the petrol-sipping 90 petrol engine to the best value model inside lineup. Dacia Sandero Stepway review to find what else appeals and detracts relating to this pseudo crossover. Restricted variety of engines. Diesel has great on-paper economy. Turbo petrol a greater all-rounder. Speed is hardly critical with the Dacia Sandero Stepway. A couple of 90 horsepower engines ensures performance isn't more than adequate. Single petrol engine. As obtained in other Dacias and Renaults, the T90 may be the sole petrol engine fitted towards the Sandero Stepway. It's a turbocharged 0.9-litre motor producing 90 horsepower, and it is paired with a 5-speed manual gearbox sending capacity to the front wheels. Peak torque is only 140 Nm at 2,250 revolutions per minute, meaning you should work the gearbox to improve the engine's limited grunt. Top speed is quoted at 104 miles per hour, even though the 0 to 62 miles per hour dash needs a leisurely 11.1 seconds. Sole diesel motor. Performance in the 1.5-litre Dacia 90 diesel engine is similar for the petrol version, slightly surprisingly given its torque. Here there is certainly 220 Nm being offered from 1,750 revolutions per minute. This helps it be easier to begin from a standstill, while overtaking maneuvers require less action for that manual transmission. Nevertheless, the 0 to 62 miles per hour time extends over to 11.7 seconds. Top speed remains pegged at 104 miles per hour. Short wheelbase causes it to become a nimble handler. But that doesn't equal much from the way of fun. Rides 40 mm over a regular Sandero. As having its conventional hatchback sibling, the Dacia Sandero Stepway lacks any kind of sparkle concerning the way it drives. Normally small cars are intrinsically fun, though the Dacia have been sapped of their joie de vivre, which can be disappointing. Still, it remains nimble drive and automobile, especially valuable in urban environments. Although it sits 40 mm higher than the normal Sandero hatch, the Stepway doesn't are afflicted by an exacerbated amount of body roll when cornering with vigor. Sadly, the main experience feels disappointingly anesthetized. So, what of that off-road capabilities? Well, self-evidently, it's not only a proper SUV, also it remains exclusively front-wheel drive, without having traction-enhancing electronic trickery as you'll discover in such as a Citroën C3 Aircross or Peugeot 2008. But, that extra inch and a half of ground clearance will make some difference in case you have to venture down rutted tracks with any great frequency. Forget about scaling anything slippery or mountainous, though. Stepway interior feels somewhat retro, but possibly not in a smart way. It's robust and decently assembled. Old Renault switchgear doesn't die, it enjoys a fresh life peppering the cabin with the Dacia Sandero Stepway. Most clients are unlikely being troubled with that, needless to say, especially as it's a marker that suggests everything will work as intended. It's not the age with the buttons, controls and knobs that disappoints, nor should we have a problem using the Stepway's construction. Dacia screws them together pleasingly well, for which is, to any or all intents and purposes, an affordable car. No, the thing is that it's so awfully boring in it. Why use a hard-boiled egg when an omelette has got the same essential ingredient? On the plus side, everything's readily available and use, although Renault's affinity for having 3 buttons and separate locations all associated with using the cruise control seems an unnecessary faff. High-riding Stepway is comfy enough. Decent volume of interior space. Shame the seats lack bolstering. Dacia hasn't waved a Citroën wand above the Sandero Stepway, so in the event you're planning on feel like a C4 cactus for just a fraction with the cost, then you better think again. It is, however, a good attempt at conveying the compliant ride and thick seat cushioning you tended to locate in cars some decades ago, resulting inside a driving experience that's more supple and relaxed than many contemporary small cars. This can be a good thing. Not all of their components are shining instances of how to improve the comfort, unfortunately. Those seats can be thicker compared to the cast of toy, nevertheless they lack much inside the way of shape, so longer journeys leave you feeling unsupported. But though you'll find it hard to fit 4 6-footers within the car, it can be roomy. A fifth adult inside the middle in the rear bench seat might leave everyone feeling hemmed in. As there's no access trim for that stepway range, all versions make use of air conditioning, albeit a manual variety where you should adjust the fan speed and airflow direction yourself. Not a great hardship in fact. Decent equipment levels. Although modern rivals kit is missing. Restricted array of options. From its introduction, barring the Say Summit Exclusive Edition, the Sandero Stepway range is limited to ambience and laureate grades. Standard Dacia Sandero Stepway equipment. Ambience. Entry point to the Stepway lineup. Its kit roster includes 16-inch rugged look steel wheels, body-colored bumpers, front fog lights, roof bars, satin chrome skid plates, hill start assist, remote central locking, LED day running lights, aircon, electric front windows, DAB radio, laureate. Flagship in the range, the laureate boasts trip computer, cruise control, speed limiter, rear parking sensors, electric door mirrors, height adjustable driver's seat, seatbelts and leader, Media Nav Evolution multimedia system with sat-nav, optional Dacia Sandero Stepway extras. Personalizing your Sandero Stepway with official Dacia options is simpler said than actually doing it, because the selection isn't that broad. You can beautify the exterior with metallic paint, along with making the inside feel a tad more special with combined leather and vinyl upholstery. There's an optional front armrest, we wouldn't bother as it's positioned too low, as well as a reversing camera. Plus, you are able to protect your car that has a Thatcham Category 1 alarm. And that's your lot. 4-star Euro NCAP crash test result. Not much modern safety kit here. 2 ISOFIX points within the back. The 4-star crash test rating from Euro NCAP was rather good back 2013, but times and accident mitigation technologies have progressed since then. Unfortunately, the Dacia Sandero Stepway continues to be left behind. Automatic emergency braking? No. Blind spot monitoring? Look elsewhere. Lane keep assistance? Not a chance. Of course, ABS, a suite of airbags and electronic stability software exist and correct, but that's about your lot. Remember, in spite of the Stepway's looks, it doesn't have 4-wheel drive or any form of traction enhancement. Got kids to ferry about? You'll find some ISOFIX child seat mounting points within the outer positions on the rear bench. Capacious cabin for any small car. Elevated driving position. Standard 60-40 split rear seat. It's big for just a small car, the Dacia Sandero Stepway, plus the dimensions are used efficiently, having a satisfyingly roomy cabin. 4 adults could have no issues getting comfy in that room, although a 5th may well be a bit of a squeeze. You'll locate a few areas to position your cabin detritus, but none turn out covered barring the glove box, so you're hard pressed to valuables outside of sight. It's still small, but compared with the standard Sandero, the Stepway can be a little longer and taller. This shouldn't pose any problems regarding parking it. Laureate models include rear parking sensors as well as a reversing camera as an optional extra. Not only does the Dacia Sandero Stepway have one from the largest boots-to-use class, the 60/40 split rear seat that's standard throughout the range is usually unusual as of this price point. Okay, they don't fold completely flat, however they do convey a welcome penetration of flexibility. The biggest gripe is, like with the normal Sandero, the tailgate are only able to be opened in the outside with or the key, although there is often a release handle down because of the driver's seat. Still an unnecessary faff, though.